Hello, Narnach here. Oh, welcome back to Path of Exile. We have arrived in Act 4 on Cruel difficulty. So now it's time to go back to the favorite area of everybody who hasn't run it 1,000 times before. Dried Lake. Let's see. Extra quantity of items with extra sockets, random curse. Nothing's gonna freeze me, kill me, whatever. So this is gonna be fun. Also something is doing chaos damage. You buggers. Also, let's regenerate some more energy shields. So for this episode I hope to run the Dried Lake and then head into the mines and get the waypoint there. The waypoint before the Tale of Two Kings. So stop trying to kill me, you buggers. Here, have a exploding Frostbolt. Maybe I should pick up on the skirmishing, hitting and running strategy, but for now, tanking worked pretty well as well. And intentionally tanking something is always a very good way to gauge how effective your defenses are. Especially considering that we will be heading into the later parts of Act 4 soon. Eternal favorite, Triskyriaki. The gift that keeps giving. That one is one we'll have to tackle. Then of course we got the two kings, King Golem and King Deresso. They are gonna be interesting fights. Seem to have this recollection that Deresso on normal wasn't entirely as easy as I had expected him to be. So that's something well, we'll definitely have to prepare for, at least mentally. And after that, after we deal with the Tale of Two Kings, we're gonna go back. Gonna go back a little bit to Act 3. There's a couple of quests that are still outstanding there. Or, well, rather some prophecies. We still have to do the Hedgemage trial, and inside of the Hedgemage there is the Plaguemore 4 prophecy, which might even be the final part of that chain. I don't know, there might also be a part 5. But either way, wanna do that one. So I figured after we deal with King Golem and King Deresso, we'll have a bit of an intermezzo, just a single episode where I run the final trial, I resolve some of the outstanding prophecies. Maybe this one is Act 3 for example. Plaguemore is in the Hedgemage. We got the Feral Lord, which is in Sarn. So we're gonna go back a little bit, and because most of the areas in Cruel, the levels are not that far apart from each other. So going back like an entire act might be the difference of 2 or 3 levels. Also, someone killed my Golem. But it might only be 2 or 3 levels, so it doesn't really matter all that much. Hey, a Shadow Scepter. Bitter Dream. Oh, stop trying to murder me while I read, you silly snakes. Let's see. Gems are supported by level 1, Hypothermia, Ice Bite, Cold Pen, Mana Leech, Added Cold, level 10, and level 1 reduced mana. And then you can put a tree link in this. I think we might have something to try for with the Frostbolt for us that we have. Bitter Dream just looks interesting.
My breath.
So I might do some theory crafting in between episodes again, or at least some puzzling about. But Bitter Dream definitely on the interesting side of things. Okay, so finding that Bitter Dream kind of derailed my train of thought. Oi! Wow. Here, face my army. I'll take a step back, curse you, bomb you, and then just ice bolt you. Okay, yo, stop trying to Stop trying to be annoying. Is that even a legitimate complaint? Ooh, he missed. Right, I'm also getting tired of all your buddies. I'm gonna kill them. Sorry with all the respect to the buddies, but... Well, if you're teaming up with Vaal, I don't like you anymore. Well, so far I have to say, hitting and running does kind of work.
Low on mana.
So Ice Bite him for... It's like playing a game of cat and mouse.
I just killed an emperor. With a feather that size, I'm going to have to get a bigger cap.
Okay, so that was Vaal. Nice and easy. So, as I think my original train of thought was going, we'll deal with that. With the prophecies in Act 3, we'll prepare for the trials. Then the episode afterwards, of course, is going to be the trials, or is going to be the labyrinth. And after we are done with the labyrinth, we're gonna have a chat with Malachi. Let's see, anything useful? Yeah, let's go for the Omen Wand. 28% increased spell damage, that's getting decent. 30% increased physical, that's too bad. And lightning, that's too many elements. Could have been irrelevant or interesting, but now, unfortunately, it's not. Yeah, you can have it. I'll take the random other stuff. Also, there's some currency stuff here that we might as well just want to file away. Then we move on. Into the mines we go. So, yeah. So, basically what I'm predicting is going to be, including this one, 5 episodes, and then we'll be in Merciless.
And I seem to be causing it a little indigestion.
Which I think is going to be fun. Looking forward to Merciless. It's been a while since I was there. I think my Juggernaut was the last one that actually played actively in Merciless. So that's going to be...
Just need a moment to...
That was the start of previous season. Well, actually, it was not even the start. It was more or less the middle of the previous league. Ooh. Yeah, that's the pike rivets. Yes, you. Okay, I'm gonna go skip away now. So a good thing of Energy Shield is that it has a habit of replenishing rather quickly, if you just don't get hit. Having evasion and dodge and block in your build does make it harder for you to get hit, especially also if you also have a golem that acts as a distraction. And there's a granite flask. That's might also be the first one I get this season. I think I got all of the utility flasks now. It's always good to have a full collection of all the utility flasks available, that if you wanna do something with something, at least you have a flask for it. It's the same with like having a copy of all the gems in your stash. That's in terms of just being creative with builds, it's pretty nice to have. There's a rare somewhere in here that doesn't want to die. You, it is you. Dirt Snarl, the dead. I have to say, I am draining my mana rather quickly right now. I think I'm gonna boost Clarity by 1 more level. Now I'm gonna have to remember to not boost it another time when it levels. That's gonna be fun. It would be so convenient if you can just in advance tell a gem that you don't want it to level, rather than having to do it on the spot. Yeah, maybe I should actually just learn to look at the buttons before clicking them.
Over
This
here,
case it was
Exile.
triple. Ooh, Tora.
I have a certain...
And down the infected beasts, and we haven't explored all too much yet, so there is a fair chance of actually completing the quest for Tora. Which would be a good thing. Gives me more options with beltcraft. Or crafting belts, or however you would call that process. Okay, this is a rather tough bugger. Wow, only one, or only that one? This is the best Tora mission ever. And level 3. And pretty good way to 4. That's good, that's good, good, good. So I believe there was also something with one of these local monster types. I think it was the lantern bearers that had, in a previous version, they had an interesting bug where, like most of the time, they would do a very low amount of damage. So their average damage was nerfed by like a factor of 80%. So they actually do more damage now consistently. Hello there, a group elemental damage.
Someone or something is keeping very busy in the bowels of this mountain.
So it's good to see. Oh, this is just Fist Reflect and a reflect element, a resist elemental. Thing is, we don't really care about elemental resists because we pierced them. Clarity, I right-clicked it. It's not operating anymore. Good, good. Well, that's also one of the things. If you upgrade your skill gems, they start using more mana. If you use more mana, then of course you need to regenerate more as well. Thereby, basically you need to increase the size of your mana pool. I should probably aim for just a slightly larger mana pool. Having over 1,000 mana, which will lead to a more natural higher regen and things like that.
Exile.
Hello, Elrion.
Any moment now, this whole...
My favorite of the masters. So strategy that I keep using here that works pretty well is you keep a vortex on yourself at all times. As a defensive measure. And then you just start casting frostbolts at targets.
Just need a moment to catch my breath.
And just explode the vortex in the middle of packs. And sometimes if there's like a rare, you can also put a frost bomb in. But most of the time if it's just white mobs, then you don't really need them there. So far it's only weak mobs. So that means we're probably gonna get some rather nasty summoners or something soon. Oh, that was
You're
it.
a well-blooded defense.
Cool. More skill points to assign. I think this is going to be one of the last points that we spent into anything that boosts our life. 1815. So, you know, gear choices will probably boost it over 2000 in the somewhere between now and Merciless. But the energy shield is the thing that's going to get boosted the most. Basically, by late Merciless, you'll probably, if you now say 2000 life, you probably want to have at least 3000 energy shield there. So you have 5000 in total. And then once you get into maps, ramp it up. I've heard the number of 5500 life thrown around for life-based characters. So for a life plus energy shield based combo, you probably want to aim for at least 6000 effective health pool. So life plus energy shield. So 4000 energy shield and 2000 life or something like that. But that currently is an assumption I'm working on. We'll figure it out. Or I'll discover at some point that it's not enough. I do know that there's a rather nasty ramp in difficulty between like about maps tier 5 and 6, something like that. That's where I lost my Juggernaut, who was, well, practically immortal. And then in a tier 6 library map, Zana instance, just got basically killed within a second. Of course there were some resistance piercing and stuff involved as well there, but I think he only had about 5,000 life. So this time I'm planning to get more, make it even tankier. And of course the cold damage will hopefully help. Slow mobs don't charge you as fast. Frozen mobs can't do a damn thing at all. Hello there, Shriekers. And they just fall down. And they're dead. Didn't the boss drop anything? Except for, he's not dead yet. That was it. So they're thinking, like, there's no boss, but where's the loot? Careful sword. Let's pick up the noble axe as well. It's a bit of a large item. But for now, we got the space. So I've updated my loot filter to play the sound whenever, well, basically any interesting currency drops. So that also includes chance orbs, fuses, things like that. Not just chaos and better. That's because I think I used them, so it would be nice to be alerted to them dropping. Because sometimes in practical matters, a fuse, it can do a lot more for you than a chaos orb would. Okay, so crystal veins, that's the exit. We now need to locate the shred. And of course, I probably have to backtrack quite a bit. So that's the annoying bit of branching levels. If you pick a wrong side, you will have to backtrack, and that's rather boring. Okay, haven't been here yet. Ooh, look, it's a Dishret. We just walked past her.
It's always comforting to witness an honest, permanent death.
And there's Hammerstone. Okay, so we bomb him, we curse him. Oof, my curse aura is actually getting rather large. Okay. Boom, we got him. And then we go back. Well, it wasn't so bad then, the backtracking. Let's see.
Just need a moment to catch my breath.
Good thing is we will be out of backtrack territory soon enough. Last bit's gotta be crystal veins. And then time for the kings. So stop shaking the world, really. It's not funny.
I do hope these constipated bowels don't find their release while I'm still inside them.
What he said. That would be also interesting. What if the game's story was less convenient? So what if it hadn't been You know, but what if Malachi hadn't been there just waiting for you? What if he actually had just gone on with his plans and reformed the world in his own nightmarish imagination and things like that? So what if you had been too late, even if by just 5 minutes? That probably wouldn't have been as pretty a result. And given that he basically turned all his loyal followers into absolute freaks. I mean, piety after the nightmarish transformation looks a hell of a lot worse than before. And I imagine that for the others, for Dweidre and the other two, it was similar. Ooh, elemental reflect. So we do take damage from reflect, but it's not as severe. But that's the good thing, right? It's not a full reflect map, and we're not doing insane damage here. Also, all damage that gets reflected, we reduce it by 80%. So the reflect is not as bad as we might have it at 60% reduction. But yeah, what if we had been too late as the hero to the story? What if we had failed? How would the game then look like? Would Malachi have infinite power and just completely wipe out everybody? Would he merely just alter the world, change the rules? Would he like revive the dead, or no? Would he do something to the living people? Could he do something to the living people? Or would he just make himself powerful and install him as the new ruler of the world, but keep his effects local to only his own sphere of influence? I don't know, it's tricky to reason about. It's because the whole mythology of the game is, well, it's odd. It has its own logic. Definitely doesn't go along conventional lines, and therefore it's hard to reason about because I don't even fully comprehend it yet. But still fun to wonder about. What if? Hello there, Burning Man. Fuse. Okay, let's get the heck out of there. And kablooey. Thank you for providing me with a fuse. And nothing really interesting here, so let's move on. You stop summoning golems. It's already enough of your body to try to do it. So the fact that I'm running around with Blasphemy and Feeble means that in close quarters situations I'm not gonna use Frostbite.
Low on mana.
Because, well, I can only single curse things, not dual curse. But it does make for an argument where getting boots like Windscream for +1 curses might be tempting. Even if it's just because my boots, they provide some resists, but currently they are optional. I'm really doing well on my resists. And well, most of my gear, it can still be. No, once we hit Merciless, or probably pre-Azaro, I'll do a good pass over my gear, do some upgrades, get some better things. Just to make sure that all the gear I am equipping is, let's say, level 50 and above in terms of requirements. So that it's basically of the appropriate tier for doing things over here. Which rhymes. Okay, so we have reached the waypoint. I'm gonna have a chat with Tasuni. And of course there's a little bit of loading lag once we hit town. And another skill point. So we've completed this chain, and the next goal is going to be Unnatural Calm. Just to increase the size of our energy shield a bit more. Depending on how it goes with getting more mana, I might eventually get Deep Thoughts. Because it boosts the mana pool and it boosts the regen, so therefore it is pretty excellent. But for now I think the points are better spent to just increase the size of our energy shield, which basically translates into more defenses. And +1 to maximum lightning resistance is it's a nice bonus. It would have been nice to get to the +1 to max cold, but unfortunately that one is located all the way down here. This is actually an interesting note. 24% evasion, 8% resist all, +1 max cold. With some more evasion and resist all in front of it, but it is 6 skill points to grab this, which, well, it is quite a lot, even though I've already gone down here to Void Barrier. You would have to sacrifice quite a bit, because in 6 points you can, let's see, where is it? So let's see, 1, 2, 3, get Doomcast for example, get a whole bunch of crit. You can do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 points, Finger of Frost. This one is on the list for example, and I would prefer Fingers of Frost over the other one. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Frostwalker plus Annihilation plus Occultist's Dominion. It's very good. So there's a lot of very nice choices that you can make in this build, and it's all trade-offs. Might eventually decide that no, I might wanna boost my max resists because it provides more of a benefit or something. But for now, I think the path I have chosen is pretty darn useful. And with that, I'm gonna thank you very much for watching, and I'll hope to see you again next time when we face off against the two kings. See you then. Bye bye.